What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Juice, man. Been a while.
83 days to be exact. I looked it up just a minute ago.
Yeah, that's a little bit more than a little while.
I think everybody that still watches this probably is used to that behavior from us. But man, I think we need a new intro. Did I say this last year too?
You probably did.
Yeah.
I
New
like it,
year,
but you're
new
right.
intro, man.
We need something else, something like
Yeah. That's a
more
that's a
like
old that's like an old
yeah.
$75 Fiverr special. You know what Fiverr is?
No,
It's a website where you can go and like find creative people to, like do stuff like that for you. But anyway.
no, we do. We need like some footage or something to get it really going.
Well, so where we been, man? Where we been? It's been 83 days. What we
So
been doing?
last
Hunting,
episode, I
fishing.
remember. Last episode I remember was with Hank Weldon. So, um, yeah, that was October. So yeah, basically hunting season right after that. Um, November was big deer hunting month for both of us, duck hunting. Man, just really taking a breath away from fishing. I think you see that in a lot of anglers like that do this a lot or full time. You see a lot of guys that like to hunt and just kind of get away and decompress because the season is so long. And I think it's an important thing to do. Like, at least for me, every year, like around that time, like, because it's literally nonstop. Here we are in the beginning of January, and it's not going to stop until Lord knows when. If we're not doing
Oh,
something with a tournament or guiding or something, with the podcast, like, and, not saying that was the reason we haven't been filming podcasts, but in a way, it has a little bit to do with that, just kind of getting away and taking a break from fishing and everything that surrounds it, because let's be honest, it's a lot. It's a lot. This industry, and it's crazy now. It's changing a lot, and it's a lot to handle all at once. So I just think decompressing, in the off season is I think for me it's an important thing. So
yeah, no, same. Yeah, just taking a little time off, man. We had a super busy year. I feel like we did pretty solid with the Juice episodes. Had some great guests last year. Tried some new things with the Hotline Lives.
yeah,
May or may not get back to that, but no, I think we'll jump back in it. But no, you're right, man. Decompressing. I love to climb a tree with a stick and a string. Not very successful hunting season for me. I mean, I know you had a pretty good one, but I didn't get to hunt that much this year. Made my trip up to Kansas. Only came home with a doe tag. Other than that, it was super hot the week I went, and so that was a bummer. But we did a lot of fishing though this fall. There was nothing big this fall after the Bass Champs Championship, but we had a lot of fun, man. Fish were biting. The big ones were biting this fall. We had a couple big bags, and that was a blast.
yeah. No, December. I don't know. December they were biting. There ain't no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's changed a lot already, but you know,
Yeah, true Raven
December.
fashion. It's come up 2 feet since then, so now it's a foot
Yeah,
and a half high.
December was pretty mild, like not very cold, and water temps were still pretty high, and it was we're higher for that time of the year, anyways. And now we're below 50, now, so we're getting pretty cold. Like that's about as cold as it really gets around here. So yeah, man, we and towards the end of the season, in the beginning of this season, we had a lot of changes. Like with you and going to six, and I'll let you talk about that for a second. But all that kind of played into this as well. So
Yeah, no, and part of the reason I took a lot of time off was, just searching for a path for 2025 going forward. We've talked about this numerous times in this podcast about, the lanes we choose to fish in, professionally versus staying home or pursuing the opens or invitationals or any of those leagues. But yeah, man, I'm no spring chicken anymore, and I just kind of was looking towards the future and said, I'd really like to stay in the industry, and kind of put some feelers out there for a job, and wanted to find something in the industry, And shout out to Zach. Zach reached out, Zach and Casey, and said they heard I was looking and offered me a position over at Six. So, man, I'm super excited about it. I guess a week and a half in now, and it's kind of like drinking from a fire hose over there. It's a lot to learn and take in, but it's super cool. It's fun. The days have been busy, but it's awesome. It's fishing industry, so I'm excited.
Yeah, bro. So I went, just recently went over there, and that was like your third or fourth day there, and I was picking up, my rods for the season, and just looking around there, and it's insane, like how much Six Sense has grown, and that operation is crazy. Like, obviously a big brand in the industry, but until you really see it, you don't really understand how big that operation is. It's amazing, man. And I told Casey the same thing when I was over there. I was like, dude. Wow, Mike, the amount what they've done in a year is insane, and I can't imagine what's coming. And there's always pushing the envelope over there, man. Like pushing forward, never stopping, never settling, and yeah, that's a big company, and what they've done over there is insane,
No,
especially when you
it's
see it in person.
yeah, for sure. And I've known Casey now for, I guess, I don't know, whenever I started Tack like 10 years ago. And from what he was then to what he's built now, what they've built now is so impressive, man. There's so many talented people there.
Yeah,
Several teams and lots of moving parts going on, but there's just everybody there is super nice, super talented. I'm just excited to be a part of it. You know what's kind of crazy is Casey was our first guest on this podcast.
yeah,
Remember that?
yeah. That is crazy. That
And
is
he's got a
crazy.
crazy story. If you haven't listened to that, you should go back and listen to our first episode with the guest. And that was Casey Sobzak. And he's got such a cool story. We were actually talking about it today, and it's cool, man. I'm happy to be a part of it. Honored to be a part of it, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a big deal, dude. And I'm happy that worked out. And
Yeah, you were a little
obviously,
nervous. You're like, where are you going, man? You gonna be able to fish? What are we doing?
yeah, yeah, you can be able to fish team derbs or not, bro. Like I need to
Yeah.
know what's up, man. So, but yeah, actually, so far so good. We're fishing champs this weekend. We're off limits right now for the week on Sam Rayburn, and Bass first team tournament of the year is going to be this weekend, and we're excited about that one, and we're excited anytime we get in the boat together, especially on Rayburn, but just in general, we're going to get to fish some other events, not just on Rayburn this year, but outside, just in the state. And that's going to be a lot of fun, just like we did last year. Not with, which by this point, everyone knows that Brandon fishing has gone away. So we're not going to get to do that. That was our favorite deal last year, but,
Yeah,
still
that
a
was a
lot
big
to fish.
moneymaker.
And yeah. So, but still a lot to fish. Team Trail and Bass Champs, and some Toyotas I'll fish. And there's more out there, man.
PFLs.
Yeah, well, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
I mean, come on, dude. You
yeah,
start off the season with a win,
yeah.
29 pounds.
Got a little fortunate. Got that trophy's like, I don't know where it's at. Right there in the middle.
Oh, there it
Right
is. You
there.
finally got one of those
Right
suckers.
there. Right.
How many
Somewhere. I don't
MLF?
know. Right there.
There it is. How many MLF or FLW second place trophies you got over there, Wyatt?
Plenty.
You
Plenty.
got you're like the Aaron Martins of
Yeah.
MLF.
Well,
You got a bunch
really,
of
like
seconds.
not even just me and you did a really good job of getting second quite a bit last year too. So it ain't just
Yeah,
us.
that's true. Actually, I didn't even think about that.
We we got
Got
like two belts back there. One of them for 100 racks that we got second in. So
oh yeah. Well, we rightfully so, dude. Benji and they kicked our heinies on that one.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that second sucked.
Second and third. Yeah, that
Anyway, I
one
don't know why
hurt.
we're talking about seconds. Let's talk about the BFL win. I
Yeah,
want to know about that. I want to know more about that. I know you did a little play by play through Tackle Talk.
tackle talk.
Let's talk about. I
Yeah,
mean, just how it's like a momentum. You better bring that to champs this weekend.
yeah. It really. Yeah, I guess it was. Thinking about it, because you had that really big bag, 35 or 36, heavy 35, whatever it was, in that one event in November or December. I don't remember.
It was
But
November.
yeah, and then me and you had 36-pound bag, or right at 36 in December or something. I don't
The next
somewhere
weekend.
around. Yeah, the next weekend. I think it might have been December.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know, but past that, I was dealing with a lot of crap with my boat. I was going through it. I mean, that's just
Mm.
all there was to it. I was going through it. Got out of mine. Didn't took a beating. Took a beating on getting out of mine. Lost a little bit on that deal, but I had to do what I had to do, and got into a new boat now, and super excited. Just to be in that, and got all my electronics set up and all that now. So I'm super excited about that. But between that time frame up until the BFL, like dang near didn't fish it because it just wasn't ready. Nothing was ready. I felt like it was rushed and it was last minute, and they were needing co-anglers so bad. And then at the very end, they needed boaters. So at the very end, the tournament director's like, "Look, man, if you don't fish, like there's gonna be a co-angler out there that doesn't get to fish it now."
Yeah.
So went in, jumped in it, and like I said, hadn't been out there a ton. So just kind of went and ran with it. Like so much had changed though. From like the bags, we caught together and you caught, our mid-30s bags. A lot had changed since then. They were definitely not using the same water and definitely not biting near as good. Very tough. The wind made it really tough. And I talked already about it a little bit on Tackle Talk, like we alluded to, but basically just had 4 big bites and a 2.5 pounder, and had 29 pounds. So it was a blessing, but man,
So you only had
you
5
talk about
bites?
tough. That was tough. Like that was a really tough one. No, I think I had 7 or 8 bites, but um, maybe 10 to
But it
11
was like one
opportunities.
here,
However
one
many
there.
opportunities I had.
You didn't catch 2 fish off one
Oh
spot,
yeah,
did you?
heck no. I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even say spots a thing. Like some of these were suspended, and I don't know. It was
Yeah.
just going because I mean
Just
it was
staying
nine
loose.
thirty. Yeah, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like nothing in the well. Like pretty much thinking, this isn't looking pretty, and just started going fishing, and it worked out. But glad I did. Glad I made an adjustment and at least went and seen a bunch of water, and hopefully it'll help us going forward. Didn't really get to pass the BFL, didn't get to spend a whole lot of time out here before champs, but thankfully champs gives us a day of practice on Friday, so we'll get to go look around before this weekend. But even a lot's changed since the BFL, and that's
Oh,
typical
so much.
Rayburn. That's pretty typical.
Well, we've had a
So
really hard cold front. So it's been, I think, like the
yeah,
warmest day was yesterday, and it was like what, maybe 60. But other than that, nights have been in the 30s. It's been in the
yeah,
40s.
yeah,
Water temps probably dropped 10 degrees. It's also come up another 2 feet since the BFL because it was a foot. It was a half a foot low in the BFL. If I might be wrong, and now it's a foot and a half high.
so I don't remember.
It's a lot. We've had a ton of rain. It's been cold,
What,
totally
what is it now? A
changing.
foot and a half?
It's a foot and a half high. It was a lot of water.
Yeah.
I think. I think that's what it is. But
Yep.
no, I mean that's
I think it's a
typical
foot and a
Rayburn,
half.
man. It changes every
Yep.
year. Like last year, this time, you remember it was like we had got a ton of rain, and so it was muddy. Like the north half of the lake was like blown out mud. It had a lot more hydrilla last year. There's almost none that I know of.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's some in some of the major
Yep.
creeks, but not near what there was last year. So I mean, it's going to be an interesting tournament. I really think the water conditions kind of leveled the playing field a little bit. I'm sure a lot of people are expecting the usual suspects put up big bags, and I hope we're one of those teams. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get out there and things are way different. So, and to
Yeah.
be honest,
Yeah.
still haven't even asked for my
No,
time
but
off
no,
on Friday.
it's gonna. Well, hopefully Casey doesn't mind, but even if it's just a half day or something.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, for sure, it's gonna change. But like, I'm excited. I'm excited for the change. Like, I don't know. I like the challenge, and hopefully we're up for it. But I'm excited. Anytime we get to fish together and throw our boat in the water in a tournament like that, like I'm excited. Especially having
Yeah.
a speeder with for the $10,000 bonus, like, man, it just ups the ante. So take us
Yeah, man.
25 guaranteed for first, and extra 10 on top of that's 35 G's, man. So you gotta love that. Gotta love that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to pay attention to contingencies in this game. I mean, that's a huge one. $10,000 for highest place finisher, not just a winner, highest place finisher.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you're a
And
speeder
5K
owner
for
not
second
fishing
highest
bass
place
championships,
finisher.
crazy. Yeah. And then I think we got a little Atlas money and some Garmin money last year too. So I mean, there's all kinds of contingencies. Need to pay attention out there and pluck them when you can for sure. But I did see a little glimpse with the rising water while you were fishing the BFL of something that I think we'll hopefully play again this weekend. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Because
that's fun fishing.
you and Mr. Jerry had 22
Yeah,
something. So
wasn't no 29, but it was all shallow. So that's fun, man. It's been a minute since I've got to catch over 20 shallow.
that excites me.
Yeah.
That makes me really excited.
Let's hope they're doing that this Saturday. I guess we'll
Get to
find out.
catch him like a man instead of staring at the cheater box, man.
Yeah. No cheating, no video games. Hey,
So
if
yeah,
video games what it takes to catch a 9-pounder, sign me up for that program. I'm gonna do
yeah,
it.
no kidding.
I'm gonna do it. What else we fishing
Yeah,
this year, dude? I know you already kind of mentioned a little bit, but triple T's,
yeah.
and then there's a new series,
Hmm.
the Thin Line. Is that?
Yeah, yeah. I saw their first ones like I think this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really know, but I
No,
think it is, which is I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I need to look at the schedule again or something because surely
I
they wouldn't
show it
do
right
that.
after the
But
Toyota, uh,
okay,
and right
maybe
before
I'm wrong then.
Triple T's, and so that one's on Toledo, February 1st. It's
Yeah,
going to be
I'm going to
another
Toledo
attempt at a.
tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah, yep. I figured if I'm gonna, I want to like now that I got my new setup, I'm like freaking itching to use it. And
Itching to get
I
out
went
there.
to a little lake this evening. Yeah, I went to a little lake this evening and used it for a little bit, and man, I really like it. It's gross. It's such a gross setup, and I'm just excited to get out there and use it. And I figured might as well spend my time wisely and do it on Toledo instead of somewhere else, somewhere that it really matters for tournament wise. So go
Yeah.
back to Toledo, look around, and spend a little time out there. I love that place. I think it's a better fishery than Rayburn. I just think it's healthier. The fish are healthier, and so I love being out there anyways. But I'm excited to go do that tomorrow too.
Yeah, no, Toledo's a fun lake. It's definitely got a better average quality fish, and there's absolute freaks swimming out there. So wouldn't be surprised if you
Yeah,
run into one. But well, I mean, we got a big open. I think there's an open on Clark's Hill first, right? Like next week.
soon. Yep, yep.
Yeah,
I think practice for them starts like Sunday or something. So
yeah. In the
and
next
they're gonna have
Arctic
a
blast.
yes, dude. It's gonna be cold as heck here next week and this weekend. I can't imagine what's gonna be over there. I bet you it's gonna be like maybe pushing single digits, like probably somewhere crazy, like 9 to 15 degrees. I bet. So
That's cold. Oof.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But it might make them bite over there. From what I remember about Clark's Hill, it's got some big spotted bass in it, big largemouth. Offshore fishing is gonna play heavy, 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 and that one will be very interesting. That'll be very interesting. I fished an invitational there,
Yeah, I
and
remember.
didn't. If I knew what I knew now, I'd fished it totally different. But like I think now, this especially this next season, it's going to be very interesting to see how they break that one down. There's be some big spots caught and some big largemouth too. So
Did Dakota win that one?
yeah,
Yeah, so I thought.
yep, yep,
That's what I thought. No, then they're
yeah,
coming to
man,
Rayburn. Big Sam.
yeah.
I mean,
That's going to be mid-February.
yeah. So they've had two opens here in recent years, but they've always been in October. Well, I think one was in September, one was in October. So this one's gonna be a lot
Tough.
different. Yeah, tough, but I expect big weights. Just depending on water level. If we catch a bunch more rain, it gets all crazy, like way up in the bushes. That could be weird.
Yeah, for sure. No, they're going to crack them though. Somebody's going to have a really big bag in that one, and yeah, that open's going to be that'll be the best time they've came in a long time. So Forever will probably show out a little bit. I mean, it's gonna kick out some bags. So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, let's talk about the big boys this year. There's a lot to talk about. There was a lot of rule changes. I think we talked a little bit about them with Hank when he was on, but everybody was kind of, all three leagues were kind of watching each other, see who was going to do what. MPFL just, fires a shot right out of the gate, says no forward-facing sonar. So I think that intrigued a lot of guys. And looking at the roster, I didn't count them up, but there are some heavy hitter elite names in there, and there's a bunch of them. I mean, Christie, Hackney, Swindle, Welcher, Walters. I mean, dude, stout field this year for the MPFL.
yeah, man, it'll be fun to watch that, and I'll probably keep up with it a little bit more than I have in the past. I haven't really kept up with them a ton, but man, it's good. When you take a step back and you look at the sport from a professional side of the sport, from an overall standpoint, I think it was needed. Like have a league without it, have a league that restricts it but still allows it, like Bassmaster's doing, and then MLF's got a really interesting take over there with the invitationals and BPT. The invitationals having it one day, then having it the next day without. So the two qualifying days to get to the final day, they'll have it one day and one day without, and then the BPT will have it one round and two rounds without, if I'm not mistaken. So, it'll be from the outside looking in, like in reality, in my opinion, like there probably shouldn't be three leagues. There should probably just be one. But if we are going to have three leagues like this, at least there's some diversity from the viewer aspect to watch it. And we'll see, man. The NPFL, like you said, they got a bunch of big names, especially with the names that you mentioned. It'll be very interesting to see how all that goes down. And there's still some people that stay in the NPFL that a lot of people would consider them scopers, or at least very strong with that technology. So good to see how they do, and I hope they do well. I wish the best for everybody. But from the viewer standpoint, for the three leagues, it'll be good.
No, I agree. I think I'm kind of like you. I didn't really follow the NPFL a whole lot, which, if I'm being honest, I don't think they made it super easy to follow. They didn't quite push it out there enough. I didn't, see it in my feed all as much as I felt like I should have. But I'll definitely be paying attention this year just to kind of see, like as a case study, how it's playing out. I'd be curious to see the numbers too, kind of see if that helps them grow, and I think it will. I mean, there's been a lot of loud noise about forward-facing sonar, so I think there's going to be a bunch of people watching. I think everybody's going to kind of curious and going to draw some comparisons between all the other leagues, and those guys that I mentioned earlier are obviously still fishing the elites. They're on the elite roster as well. As far as I know, I didn't double check all that, but I'm pretty sure I saw most of their names on the elite thing. So not like they're switching over. They're gonna fish both, and it's gonna be a busy schedule, and I think it's going to be an interesting year for our sport for sure. So,
yeah,
looking forward to watching it all. On the elite side, we got a classic in the state of Texas.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man. Ray Roberts, man. That's they've had a classic there. Hank Cherry won there. Different time of the year though, man. I think this one's going to be really good. Like, it has a chance to be really good. Coming to really anywhere in the state around that time of the year, really good. So, Lee Livesey has had some success over there on Ray Rob.
He won the very first belt, Brandon Belt.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to deal with, I think. But you never know. It's a classic and 3-day event. You never know. There's obviously going to be other players, probably somebody nobody expects too. But I like Lee's chances in that one. I'm pulling for him really in that one. I was really hoping me and you would have messed around and made it, but Grand Lake pretty much shot our dreams down.
I think we did that to ourselves on Grand Lake. I don't think it was Grand Lake's fault. That was just.
It was definitely Grand Lake's fault.
Well, my co's had big bass both days, so there's that. I was around them.
they need to quit taking us to fisheries in Oklahoma in general. But
Oh,
if they
dang.
are going to take us there, they need to take us there at a better time, man, because you mix Oklahoma fisheries with the fall and you're just killing dreams. You're killing guys' dreams. You're making people quit bass fishing at that point. There's
Yeah.
probably there's probably guys that'll never pick up a rod again after that one.
That's a little extreme, but no, that was a fun
Uh,
tournament. I'm like you. I wish it was a different time of year, but also we had a cold front literally come in the day before the tournament,
yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah. It
just
wasn't.
totally knocked what very little topwater bite there was down. So
Mm, yeah,
it was a tough event.
for sure. Are we going to do a
Yep.
fantasy league again this year?
We did a terrible job of following that,
Did
but
we?
we should. I I thought so. I had to remind you all the time to like pick your fantasy team.
Yeah, but it was a pretty big league. I think we had
Yeah,
over
yeah,
100
I think we had
people.
50 people in it. We'll do it again. We'll throw it up there. But I just mean like as far as like shouting out people who won. I think we only did that like once.
Yeah, well,
We just got
we
to
know we're
beat
not
Ronnie
very
Moore.
good. Yeah,
He's like the goat when it comes to fantasy fishing.
yeah,
But
that'd be fun. Be fun to do.
well, what else, man? I mean, it's gonna be a fast and furious first few couple
Man, I
months as
think.
far as team tournaments go.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not good. Like I said, it's really not going to stop. So we're going to be busy, but we just wanted to get on here and film one. It's beginning of the year. Tournament season has started, and like we said, man, we just took some time to decompress, and now we're back, and we're gonna, obviously didn't have a guest on this one. We'll have some guests going forward, and we got a lot of guys. I mean, we could film with a bunch of different people. A lot of guys we've already had on the show, some new guys.
Yep.
Um, it's a exciting time. It's always this time of the year is always everybody's starting fresh. Everybody's happy to get the year rolling until they're not, I guess.
Yeah, until these Arctic blasts that come down here and make it 30 degrees. We're
Yep, it's
barely
always.
barely missing this front too, by the way.
I know, man. For Saturday, yeah. Shoot, I hope it makes them bite. I hope it
I
makes
don't
them
think it's
jump.
going to be very pleasant though. We got a northwest wind. Northwest wind on Rayburn, for those of you who don't know, is terrible.
Yeah, yeah. I've had a few people. They're like, "Oh, the wind won't be too bad Saturday," because I got some people that are. I know some people that are fishing Toledo Bend in the
Yeah.
BFL on the same day. Like, "Oh, it ain't gonna be too bad. Northwest 5 to 10, not bad." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, that ain't good. I'm telling you right now, it ain't
Yeah.
good.
Well, first of all, whenever it blows out of the northwest in southeast Texas, it's always blowing hard. It doesn't matter. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't blow out that direction unless it's blowing. So it might say 5 to 10. The BFL is a prime example. It said, and that wasn't a northwest wind, but the forecast was like 6, 7 miles an hour, and there was three,
Yeah,
four
it was
footers out there.
rough.
It was
It was
blowing.
rough. I know because
Yeah.
I ran that sucker. It was
Yeah.
rough. It
Yeah.
was. I mean, it wasn't unbearable though. It was weird. Like they were like rollers. Like it wasn't white capping, but they were rolling. But
Yeah.
it really wasn't that terrible. That, like I said, man, that Skeeter, that 20-foot Skeeter, it does really good. So it wasn't like
Oh, are
unbearable.
we disclosing what boat you're in now, Wyatt?
Well, what I'm in a Skeeter, but we
Yeah.
don't know what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been trying to keep that a little
So
quiet.
yeah, well,
No.
you gotta watch these. You gotta watch out around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like I said, exciting time because we got some new guys that really excited to watch on the elites. Easton Fothergill, Dakota Ebear, Cody Meyer, Tucker, all those guys that made it.
Oh
I'm
man.
really excited to see how they do. Um, really, really pulling for those guys. I really, really, really want to see, how Dakota does, knowing who he is, being, really one of the best anglers in our sport for the past several
Oh,
years. I'm
another
really excited to
another
see how that.
crazy rookie class.
Yeah, crazy rookie class, and
Who's
going
going to win
forward.
Rookie of the Year?
God, I don't know, dude. That's I don't know, man, because Dakota's really hard to pick against. But if Easton Fothergill does what he did in the Opens, I mean, he's not just going to win Rookie of the Year; he's going to win Angler of the Year. So,
Dang. No,
yeah,
he's
if he keeps up that pace, dude, I don't know. Yeah, it's insane. That was the best year of the Opens by one angler I've ever seen. I mean, that was
yeah, that
totally
was
incredible. He won two, dude. Like,
super impressive. Two
that's
opens
ridiculous, bro.
in one season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are like some of the hardest tournaments to win, dude. The Open is ridiculously hard. I mean, it might be the hardest tournament to win because we've talked about it so
Yeah.
many times on this podcast. The fact that you have Opens pros that have been doing it for a while. You have Elite Series guys that step in these, and then you got the local hammers. So, yeah, no, that's super impressive, and I'm with you. I mean, Dakota's hard to pick against for Rookie of the Year, but Fothergill is just next level. He's good.
Yeah,
He's
for
super,
sure.
super good.
Yeah, and
It's gonna be fun to watch.
I'm really just I'm interested to see who makes the elites too. Like that's another exciting part about the beginning of the year. 'Cause there's some really good fishermen fishing the opens again, and probably some new faces that we don't know that are gonna show up and show out just like always. But yeah, that's gonna be a really exciting class to see. Because it's new this year. See who's gonna make the EQs, and then once the EQs hit. That'll be pretty much some of the last tournaments that are going. That'll be all live covered. Those three events in the fall. So their season's going to be long, but it'll be covered heavily and get to see some of the guys that we know pulling for York in that one. Hoping he starts strong, maybe with a little dubby on Sam Rayburn. That'd be cool.
Yeah, he's my pick, dude. No pressure, York. I know I'm not putting any pressure on you, buddy, but you're my pick, dude.
I hope he does that, and then does well in the EQs. But yeah, man, that's really it. I can't think of much else other than we're back.
So
Team
are
Juice is
we?
back.
Are we back? Does this mean we're doing another one like next week?
Oh yeah, we're doing another one next week, and hopefully we're doing another one next week with a Bass Champs dub. That would be really cool.
Oof.
So
Let's
we're
keep
going to
it
be
going.
running a GoPro on Saturday.
Yep.
So hopefully y'all get to see us catching them a little different than the last 39.5 pound video that we did. A little different this time.
Yeah. That video is slightly embarrassing because we act like children. like we've never caught a bass before.
That's fine. I'll act like that every time.
Oh, yeah, I do too. I still get fired up catching those giants. That was a fun day, dude, for sure. But
so much fun. Never forget that. But
yeah,
man,
well,
that's all I got.
Yeah, I think we need to line up a guest for next week if we're going to do this. I mean,
yeah,
I'm staying over here at Senior Bob's for right now. I'm about 40 minutes away from the office while I'm getting moved over, get my house sold, moved over to Montgomery. So I don't have a studio yet, but I suppose we could record on a weekend or something. You got the Toyota next week, though, don't you?
Yeah, dude. I'm not really looking like the weather is not. I don't know. That's gonna be.
Don't back out now.
Well, it's gonna be bad. Like
don't back out now.
The tournament days aren't gonna be as bad, but the practice leading up to that event, we got lows like in the 19s and 20s, dude. Like highs in the high 30s and 40s. Like it's gonna be a miserable practice. But once again, no matter how we do in Bass Champs this weekend, it's gonna change again for that event. Yeah. So, it's never ending, never stops. You never know what the heck is going on. But yeah, I am gonna fish that one, but it's gonna be dude, that one's not gonna be fun.
That's gonna suck, man. That's gonna suck. I'll be in my nice, cozy, warm office. So
I don't know what we got after that. I think we got a team trail.
Triple T's like the weekend after that.
Oh yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Oh, actually, I think it's that thin line, then Triple T.
Oh, that'll be sick. We go to Toledo.
Thin line on Toledo. Yep. But
so
well, let's get this ball rolling again. 2025, here we come.
All right, man.
All right. We'll see y'all.
See y'all.